Good evening, everyone. I think there are some new students as well. So I welcome everyone to the second term. So only today, we are going to we are going to start the lessons for the second term, right? And since there are new students, I will have to state that there's a little problem with the order of the lessons of grade 10. This is especially for grade 10, not for other grades, right? For 9, 8, those previous grades. So not even for the grade 11, right? This issue has. There's an issue with the order of the lessons, right? So for all the other grades, we have been specified for the first term, these lessons. For the second term, these lessons likewise we have been specified, right, by the syllabus. But in grade 7, it is not clearly specified what are the relevant lessons for the each term, right? So in some schools they are doing 4 lessons at first, and in some schools they are doing like a mix of lessons in that order, right? සමහරුන්ට දෙකක් කරනවා යටින් එකක් කරනවා එහෙම පොඩි මික්ස් එකකුත් යනවා, right? We have done actually the first 3 lessons for the first term, then the next 4 lessons for the second term, and the remaining 3 lessons for the third term. That is how we have been doing. අපි කරගෙන ආවේ ඒ විදියට. ඒකින්ද මොන හරි then for the term test, if you are getting in your school term test, if you are getting any questions from other lessons than what we have done, you can ask questions if you have any problem. No problem about that order. You can ask questions from any part of the syllabus if you have it. හරි තියෙනවා නම් ඕන තැනකින් ඒ order එක ප්‍රශ්නයක් කරගන්න එපා. ගැටලු තියෙනවා ඉදිරිපත් කරන්න. I think for most of the schools, like term tests are like in these recent weeks, right? මම මේ ළඟ පාතක තමයි ඔයාලට මේ සතියේ ලබන සතිය වගේ තමයි term test ස්කෝලවල වලත් ගොඩක් අයගේ තියෙන්නේ. ඒ වගේම හරි ගැටලු තියෙනවා නම් ඒවත් අහන්න, right? Okay. So for the first term, we have completed the first 3 lessons. For the first term, we have already completed, right, in this class. So now today what we are going to do is we are going to start from the 4th lesson. We are going to start from the 4th lesson, right? Okay. First, I will share the screen with the topic of the lesson, right? And if you have any questions, you can ask. No problem. Especially the new students. Okay. So this is the lesson, right? This is the 4th lesson that we are going to discuss and start now. Okay, write down the topic, Lama, everyone. Write down the topic first. Down the topic. දැන් first term එකේ හැරි මොන හරි issues තියෙනවා නම් lessons වල no issue, you can ask from me. ඕන එකක් ඕන දැනකින් අහන්න. And since now you are like aiming your O levels, ordinary levels, okay, සාමාන්‍ය පෙළ ඔයගොල්ලෝ දැන් target කරමු, right? So the O level paper is mostly based on grade 10 and grade 11 syllabuses, right? And not only that, right? We need all the things that we have learned from grade 6 also, we will be needing them, right? අපි 6 වසරේ ඉඳන් ඉගෙන ගත්ත ඒවත් අපිට අවශ්‍ය වෙනවා. When discussing papers, you will know what to know from previous grades and so on. Likewise, you will know when we start discussing the papers, you will know about that as well. මොනවද පහුගිය අවුරුදු වලින් අපි දැනගන්න ඕනේ මොනවද නැත්තේ කියන එකත් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට අර papers කරනකොට ඒ idea එක ඔයාලට. Right. So the lesson is the 4th lesson. Let us engage in sports and outdoor activities. right? Let us engage in sports and outdoor activities. So from grade 6 onwards, we have been learning about three organized games. Three organized games: volleyball, netball, and football, right? And about athletic games as well. Separately from different lessons, we have been learning about these three mainly about these three organized games, right? And about outdoor games, outdoor activities also we have learned in previous grades in several times. In a few occasions, we have learned about those things, right? So this lesson includes all the three organized games that we have been discussing and about outdoor activities as well, right? And about outdoor activities as well, right? So it is somewhat a huge lesson, right? It will take some time for us to complete it. ඒක ඉවර කරන්නත් පොඩි වෙලාවක් යයි. මොකද there are three sports and outdoor activities as well to discuss. And in the parts of these organized games parts also, there are lots of things that we haven't learned in previous grades. We have discussed, right? يعني අලුතෙන්ම කලින් කතා කරලා නැති කොටස් ගණනාවකුත් අපිට මේ ක්‍රීඩා ගැන මේ පාඩමේදී කතා කරන්න තියෙනවා. Especially now we have been learning about skills, different skills of these sports we have been discussing, but not about like not about the function and the function of the referees. We haven't talked about those. නේද? අපි විනිසුරුවරුන්ගේ කාර්යභාරය ගැන අපි කතා කරලා නැහැ. So in this lesson we are focusing on that as well. හරි මේ පාඩමේ අපි ඒක ගැනත් කතා කරනවා. විනිසුරුවරයාගේ කාර්යභාරය මොකක්ද කියන එක ගැනත් අපි මේකදී the function of the referees also will be discussed through this lesson. So it's a huge lesson. So it will take some time. So part by part, we'll try to finish it as soon as possible, right? Okay. Now, first, we'll try to see about volleyball, right? Take one by one, we'll take one by one and we'll discuss, right? First, we'll discuss about volleyball, right? So we have learned lots of things about volleyball since grade 6, right? So you should remember, we'll try to remember the things that we have learned in previous grades about volleyball. The basics things we'll try to discuss, right? Now you should answer. I will ask some questions, right? We'll discuss it. So about volleyball, what is the origin country? In which country this game was originated? What is the origin country for volleyball? මේක පටන් ගත්තේ කොහෙන්ද මේ මොන රටේ? Can you remember where it was originated from? Can anyone remember, ළමයි? What is the origin country for volleyball?
USA.
USA, Shamini. Very good, right? USA. And there's a city also. We have mentioned the city also. නගරෙකුත් කතා කරා. මෙන්න මේ නගරේ ඉන්නේ පටන් ගත්තේ කියලා. Can you remember? Holyoke City, right? In the city of Holyoke of USA. USA means America, right? United States of America, right? Holyoke City in USA, this was originated. And later on, it was introduced to Sri Lanka, like as I remember, around 1960, right? It was introduced to Sri Lanka. By whom? Who introduced volleyball to Sri Lanka?
Robert Walter Camac.
Robert Walter Camac. It was introduced by, right? Robert Walter Camac, right? It was introduced by Robert Walter Camac, right? You should remember those names as well. And later on, like in 1991, as I remember, right around 1991, this was declared by us. This was declared as the national game of Sri Lanka, right? This was named as the national game of Sri Lanka, as I remember, in around 1991. Very recently compared to these years, right? It was named as the national game of Sri Lanka. So by now it is the national game, right? අපේ ජාතික ක්‍රීඩාව උන්න මේ volleyball, right? Okay. Now we'll discuss some more basic things about the game volleyball. just tell me like what are the parts of our body, right? What are the parts of our body that can be used to hit the ball in volleyball? Which parts in our body which can be used to hit the ball in volleyball?
Hands.
What? Hands. What else? Any other parts? Are there any other parts that can be used to hit the ball in volleyball?
Head.
Neck? Sorry.
Head.
Head, you mean? The head also, right? Head also. So now remembering here in volleyball, there's no such restrictions. There's no such restrictions, which means restriction when I'm explaining things, if you find any unknown word or a difficult word that you cannot understand, just let me know. I will explain, right? I'm watching දැන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නේ නැති වෙන්න පුළුවන් note එකේ තියෙන එහෙම මොන හරි එහෙම නොතේරෙන එකක් තියෙනවා so it's a strange, this is not our mother tongue, no, this is a strange language we are using, so if it is not clear, just let me know, I will explain it. මොන හරි අපහැදිලි නම් කියන්න. හරි. එතකොට there's no restriction. Restrictions කියන්නේ සීමාවක් නැහැ. එහෙම සීමා ආධාර නැහැ මේක විතරයි කියලා. We can use any part of our body. If we want, we can hit with our feet also, we can hit the ball, right? We can use any part of our body to hit the ball in volleyball, right? We can use any part of our body, no restrictions about that. ඒක ගැන කිසිම සීමාවක් දාලා නැහැ. Right. The composition of the team. How many team members can be included for the whole team? For the whole team, how many team members can be included? Adaka.
12 players.
Sorry.
12.
Yeah, for the whole team it is 12. For the whole team it is 12. But inside the court, only
6.
only 6 are allowed to play inside the court, right? 12 players can be included in the whole team, but only 6 players are allowed to play inside the court, right? Only 6 are allowed to play inside the court, right? Okay. Now we'll try to understand. I didn't maybe discuss what do you mean, the playground, right? The playground of the volleyball, right? The playground that we have to use for volleyball, we'll try to understand, right? So I will draw a little sketch of a volleyball ground, right? I will draw it. I'm not very good at drawing actually. Right. Here you see. Right. Can you see the board clearly, Nama? The things I'm drawing on the board. Is it clear? Is it clear enough? Right. Okay. Right. So this is like the volleyball court, right? Volleyball court. Can you tell me the total length of the court?
18 meters.
The total length is 18 meters. What about the width of the court?
9 meters.
9 meters, right? Is 9 meters. The total length is like 18 meters and the width is about 9 meters, right? Okay. About the lines. What about these lines? What is this line? What is the name for this line? This is where the net lies on. Net එක තියෙන්නේ ඔන්න ඔය. volleyball net එක තියෙන්නේ මෙන්න මේ line එක. මොකද්ද මේ line එකට කියන්නේ අපි? What do you
Center
call?
line.
Center line. These two lines. What about these two lines? You should remember now those things. මොකක්ද ඒ lines දෙක? We call them side lines because those are on the sides of the court, right? Side lines. පැත්තෙන් side එකේ තියෙන දෙකනේ. Side lines. This one very important.
Serve line.
Serve line, right? Serve line. අපි කියන පිරිනැමීමේ රේඛාව serve line. And so for each team they will be getting a square shaped playground. 9 by 9 meters square shape. 18 divided by half is also 9. The width is also 9. So 9 by 9 square shaped playground will be given for each team. And that particular part is again being divided into two parts like this. Right? And the other side also it is like that. It is again getting divided into two parts. Right? Okay. So what are these two parts? What is this part is called? What this part is being called?
Back zone.
Back zone, right? This is the back zone. Put to indicate the net, we put something like this, right? So this is called the back zone. This zone,
Front zone.
front zone. Back zone, front zone. What is this line called?
Attack line.
Attack line. Very good, right? Attack line. Can you tell me an alternate name for this front zone? Alternate name, තව අමතර වචනයක්. Alternate එක.
Attack zone.
Attack zone. Very good. Attack zone. Back zone, front zone, or attack zone. What is the width of the back zone?
6 meters.
6 meters. Very good. Width of the front zone?
3 meters.
3 meters. Right? 3 meters. Right? You should remember all those things. Right? These are not included in this lesson actually, right? We have learned all those things in previous grade, so these will be needed, right? You will be needing all these things for all levels, so you should remember, right? Okay, now earlier we said we have like 6 members can play inside the court for each team. So the positions of the players are like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? The positions of the players are like this, right? So there are 6 positions. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are fixed positions, right? These don't change, but the players can change among these positions. The players can change. Players positions, but these positions are fixed. They cannot be changed. Position again, right? Now, number 2, 3, and 4. These 3 positions are called front row players. Front row players, these are called. The players in the positions 1, 6, and 5, these are called back row players, right? Front row players and back row players, we call them, right? And now we say, earlier also we have mentioned it, what skill we are starting this volleyball game? From with what skill that we can start this volleyball game? To start a volleyball game, what should be done? By what we can start the volleyball game? අපිට මේ volleyball game එක පටන් ගන්න පුළුවන් මොනවා කරලාද? Now all set for the volleyball game. All set. 2 teams have position properly. Now we have to. Now the referees is signaling to start the game. Referee is signaling to start the game. So how should we start it? With what? What is the skill that?
Serving.
By a serve. By a serve, we can start the volleyball game. Serve, right? Very now. After serve, serving means like we are serving tea. We get the serving tea, right? Very now, they know, right? So, who's the player which can do that? Now we'll say that this team got the chance to serve the ball, right? So who's the player which can
1. 1.
To remember, only the player in the number 1 position can do the serve. If this is the other team, number 1 will be here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only the player in the number 1 position can make a serve. No any other player. Alright? Number 1 position එකේ ඉන්න කෙනාට විතරයි serve එකක් හැම වෙලේම කරන්න පුළුවන්. Right? So the serve can be used to start the game. And after each point also we have to start the game again of when a point is being given means like the game has stopped temporarily. කකුලක් යනවා කියලා කියන්නේ නේද? එක බෝලේ එළියට ගිහිල්ලා එක බෝලේ බිම වැටලා so the game has stopped temporarily so we have to start it again. So after each point also is to start the game again we are using a serve, right? We are using a serve, right? Right. So if we take like if we discuss some features, common features of this volleyball game, අපි පොඩි ලක්ෂණ කීපයක් කතා කරොත් volleyball game එකේ මේකත් තමයි මතක තියාගන්න. It can be played within a small space, with a small space like 18 meters and 9. That is all we want, right? That's all we want for this game. With a small space, we can play this game. We'll say if it is for a volleyball, a football game, a huge court is needed. For cricket, a very huge round one is needed, right? But for this, a very small space is required, right? And the cost is also very low. Cost is also very low. We need very little amount of like very few equipment are being needed, right? Very few equipment are needed, right? Like we only need 2 poles to hang the net and a net and the ball. That's all we want. හරි අපිට ඕන එච්චරනේ. බෝලේ net එකයි හයි කරන කම දෙකක්. That's it, right? That's the whole equipment that we need. So with a low cost we can play this game. With a very low cost we can play this game. Very few equipment are needed, right? බොහොම අඩු ප්‍රමාණයක් තමයි අපිට equipment අවශ්‍ය වෙන්නේ ගැන උපකරණ අවශ්‍ය වෙන්නේ, right? And it takes less time. It takes very less time to finish up a game. If it is a cricket game, the whole day, we need the whole day for a normal ODI, right? We need the whole day. මුළු දවසම ඕනේ cricket එක. But for this, it won't take much time for a volleyball game to be finished, right? Like another thing, like in netball and football, they have time duration actually. For netball, like it is like 60 minutes. For football, it is 90 minutes. They have a time duration. So whichever the team who gets to score most points during that time period will be the winners. A time period එකට වැඩිම ලකුණු ගන්නක් ගන්න team එක දිනන. But in volleyball, we have a score limit. We have a limit of points. Usually it is 25. So whichever the team who gets to score 25 points first will be the winner here. There's no time limit. A point limit is there about like 25. So whoever the team, whatever the team, whichever the team who gets to score 25 points at first will be the winner, right? But it don't take much time. Within very short period of time, we can finish up a volleyball game, right? And it can give. Now we are discussing the features of volleyball, right? The common features of volleyball game. Like we can get fun and enjoyment. It's really fun to, right? I have also played volleyball. So it is somewhat fun to be engaged in. Yeah, it is, after all, it is our national game. It is really fun to play such a game, right? And in our syllabus, it says like very simple and clear rules and regulations are there. In the syllabus, it mentions as well. Right? The syllabus එකේ තියෙන හොඳට පැහැදිලි සරල නීති රීති තියෙනවා කියලා ලක්ෂණයක් විදිහට තියෙනවා. But actually, it is a little complicated than the rules and regulations of volleyball are very complicated than anything. We හිතනවා වඩා ගොඩක් ටිකක් complicated rules and regulations තියෙනවා. හරි? There are lots of rules and regulations to be considered when compared to other rules, right? It is not that simple, right? අර ඒ උනාට එක පොතේ ලියන්න එපා. ප්‍රශ්නයක් විදිහට feature එකක් ඇහුවොත් just write down simple and clear rules and regulations are there. Alright? But in reality, those are little complicated than we think. Right? After the complicated rules and regulations. Yeah. Okay. Right. So those are the basic things that we have already learned in previous grades about volleyball. So we'll have to identify and understand the skills as well, right? The skills as well we need to understand. I will discuss about the skills little later. First, we'll write down the points that are for those basic things that we have discussed. අපි discuss කරපු basic points point ටික අපි පොඩ්ඩක් ලියාගෙන ඉමු. ඊට පස්සේ අපි will discuss about the skills of volleyball, right? So is it clear the things that I have explained so far? දැනට අපි කතා කරපු ටික පැහැදිලිද? Is it clear? Any problem regarding those things? Any questions? Is it clear ළමයි? පැහැදිලි නේ? Especially the
Yes,
new
sir.
right? අපිට ළමයි නම් චුට්ටක් බලන්න පැහැදිලි නම් මොන හරි පැහැදිලි නම් කියන්න. Right, okay. Wait, I will share the screen. Right. Okay. Write down these points, lamai. Right. This is the topic of the lesson. Sorry, forgot. This is the main topic of the lesson, right? This is the main topic of the lesson, right? So, and it has many other subtopics. Main subtopics are there, right? So, as a huge topic, right? Write down volleyball. So under this topic, there are lots of subtopics that we are going to discuss. Good, they were subtopics එහෙම අපිට මේක යටතේ ලියන්න. So as another main topic, write volleyball. Volleyball එකත් ලොකු main topic එකක් විදිහට ලියා ගන්න. From now on, we are going to discuss about volleyball. Alright? This is the lesson of my topic of the lesson, and inside it there are 4 parts actually. The first part is volleyball. Right. So under this topic, we'll write these points. Under that topic, we'll write these points. Ask if you have any difficult words or anything. This third point will be explained properly in the next part. The third point after the right back player serves the goal, that point will be explained later on properly. It's a big explain point. And when writing the points, see whether you understand each point properly, right? See whether you understand it properly. ලියනකොට බලන්න මේ ලියන point එක මට හොඳට තේරෙනවද කියලා. If not, just let me know. We'll discuss it again. And while writing the note, if you have any questions, you can ask. Not take nothing more questions, Ama, is it big enough? The letters of the note, is it big enough? පේනව නේද හොඳට note එක? No. Okay. Anyone still writing, Lamai? Does anyone need more time? Do you need more time, Lamai? Anyone to write the note, or are you done with it? ඉවරද ලියලා හැමෝම? Shall we move to the next part then? Okay, right. If you are not done with it, let me know. ඉවර නැත්නම් කියන්න. Right. Now we'll see, we'll try to understand, to identify the skills, right? In the first page of the lesson in the textbook, like they have, I think they have listed out those skills, right? You should remember those skills very clearly, right? හොඳට ඒවා ටික මතක තියාගන්න. ස්පෝර්ට්ස් තුනේම skills list එක මොකක්ද කියන එක හොඳට මතක තියාගන්න ඕන. Right? Okay. Now I will draw a volleyball court like this, and this is the net. Like we are looking from a side. අපි පැත්තකින් ඉඳන් තන්නක බලන් ඉන්නවා කියලා, right? Volleyball court. Right. So this is the serve line. These are the serve lines, right? These are the serve lines. And this is the net, right? This is the net, right? Okay, so we are seeing a volleyball match from the side, right? අපි පැත්තෙන් ඉඳන් ඔන්න volleyball match එකක් net එක තියෙනවා. අපි බලන් ඉන්නවා. Right? Okay. Now, the skills one by one we'll try to understand, right? So, what is the first skill? First skill is, right? What the first skill level? Serve, right? First skill is serve. Serve means that is the skill that we use to start the volleyball game. So, the number one player should come out of the, right? Should come out of the serve line, right? Stand out of the serve line, and he can toss the ball up and hit the ball so that the ball will go over the net to the opposite side, right? Sending the ball to start the game, sending the being out of the serve line, sending the ball or hitting the ball so that the ball will go over the net to the other side is what we call a serve, right? Sending the ball over the net to the other side, being out of the serve line is what we call to start the game actually. Is what we call a serve. ඔකට තමයි අපි serve එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ. To start the game, being out of the serve line, sending the ball over the net to the other side, to the opposite side is what we call a serve, right? And then an opponent player, we say an opponent player. Another question, a quick question. Once we get the ball in a volleyball game, once we get the ball to our side, how many chances do we have to hit the ball before sending the ball back to the other side? How many chances do we have? Once we get the ball to our side over the net, how many chances do we have to hit the ball or touch the ball until we send the ball back to the other side? How many chances will we have? Can you remember? අපිට දැන් බෝලේ net එකේ උඩින් අපේ පැත්තට ආවොත් අපිට chances කීයක් තියනවද play කරන්න? How many chances do we have? කොච්චර තියනවද? You don't know? We have 3 chances. Each team will get 3 chances to hit the ball before sending it back to the other side, which means like within 3 chances, we should send the ball back to the other side. Once we get it, Once we get the ball, we have 3 chances. So within that 3 chances, somehow we should send the ball back to the other side safely. That is what we have to do, right? So we will have 3 chances. So we don't need to hit the ball back again directly back to the other side at once. එකපාරක මෙහා පැත්තට ගහන්න ඕනේ කියලා එකක් නැහැ. So we can keep the ball for a while and plan it and send it properly. So usually what we are doing is when we got served by the ball, usually what we are doing is we are hitting the ball up so that the ball will go like this. We are hitting the ball up. Right? In a ball, we are just do something and send the ball up to into our inside our own side. Right? Now, one chance has gone. Right? We have 2 remaining. Usually what we are doing now, but this is called what? This is skill. This is another skill in volleyball. What do you call this skill? Now this is the serve. What do you call this? What do you call this? මේ skill එකට මොකක්ද කියන්නේ? Someone? Can someone answer that? මේ skill එක මොකක්ද අපි? We are just sending the ball up so that another player of our own team can play it. What is it?
Blocking.
Heshara?
Blocking.
No, not blocking. Not blocking. This is called. Sorry?
Setting.
In the activity wise, as an activity setting, and this is the same thing. This is not setting, but as an activity, it is a setting. Again, activity එකක් විදියට මේ setting එකම තමයි. The same thing. But we have a different name for this. Avindi, very good. Receiving. Receiving. This is what we call receiving. Right? Receiving. This is what you call receiving. Right? Receiving means in setting also what we are doing is we are just sending the ball up now. In setting or setting එකෙත් අපි කරන්නේ මෙතන තියෙන difference එක තමයි the shot we are playing for the serve ball. Right? The shot the first shot that we are playing for the ball which is served by the opposite side. එහා පැත්තෙන් serve කරලා එන පන්දුවට අපි ගහන first shot එකට අපි කියනවා receiving. Now this is the first chance that we have taken. So for the second chance also what we are usually doing is for the second chance also we are just bring it closer to the net. Usually what we are going to do is we are bring it closer to the net in the place that we want. අපිට net එකෙන් දැන් මේ පැත්තට වෙන්නද මේ පැත්තට වෙන්නද ඒකත් බලලා we try to bring the ball closer to the net. Second chance. Same thing, right? See, again we are sending the ball up. Now we can call this what? Now we just sending the ball up is called what? That is called setting now. Very good, right? This is called setting. What is the difference between setting and receiving? Same thing actually. As the activity, it is the same thing that we are doing. We are just sending the ball up. By hitting some way, we are sending the ball up. The same thing we are doing. But if we are doing that thing for the ball served by the opposite side, we call it receiving. If it is in the middle of our game, if the ball is already here and we are hitting void like that, it will be called a setting. Right? This will be called a setting. Right? ඒ කියන්නේ මේ serve කරලා එන පන්දුවට අපි ගහන එකට කියනවා receive. ඊට පස්සේ අපි මේ අතරමැදදී මෙහෙම පන්දුවට දානවා නම් ඒකට අපි කියනවා setting. Right? This is called setting. Now 2 chances are already gone. Only 1 chance left. So what we have to do with that? එකෙන් අපි මොකද්ද කරන්න ඕනේ දැන්? What is the thing that we need to do with the last chance? Somehow we should try to send the ball back to the other side over the net. හරි? දැලට එහෙලින් අපි දැන් එහා පැත්තට යවන්න තමයි try කරන්නේ. Because that is our last chance now to hit the ball. So Another player will say like the jump up. Will say the ball is somewhere here. A player will jump up. You can see and hitting the ball, right? A player will jump up and hit the ball over the net to the other side. Over the net to the other side. Right? Can you see these lines clearly? Can you see these lines clearly? No? මේ lines පේනවද ඔයාලට මේ මම අදිනවා? පැහැදිලිද?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure. Fine. Okay. Now, in the third chance, we are hitting the ball so that the ball will go over the net to the opposite side. To the opposite side. We are sending the ball to the opposite side. Right? This is what we call, what do you call this? Sending the ball.
Spiking.
Spiking. Very good. Spike or spiking. Right? Spiking. Right? This is what we call sending the ball over the net to the other side is what we call spiking. Then a player from this side, now we are getting the ball from the other side with the spike. Now there are two zones, no, front zone and back zone. We'll say a front row player being closer to the net will jump up, raise both his hands and without letting this ball come into our own side, he is redirecting it back to the opposite side. Is redirecting it back to the opposite side without letting it come into our own side. What do you call this?
Blocking.
That's called blocking. Right? That is called blocking. Blocking here. Right? That is what we mean by blocking. To the spike made by the opponent team, a player will jump up, raising his both hands and block the ball from coming to our own side and redirecting it back to the opponent side. So that is what we mean by blocking. Right? Serving, receiving, setting the ball, spiking, blocking, and there's another skill called field defending. Field defending means a simple thing, right? It's not a single skill of a single person. Field defending means like once we get the ball from the other side, without making any mistakes by using these three chances that we have, without making any mistakes, if we can send the ball safely back to the other side, that whole process is what we call field defending. Once we get the ball over the net from the other side, using that three chances we have, without making any mistakes, if we can sending the ball back to the other side over the net, is what that whole process is what we call field defending. The whole process is what we call field defending. So those are the skills of volleyball: serving, receiving, setting, spiking, and blocking and field defending. This whole part is called, for this team, this whole part is called field defending. They are safely using that three chances. They are sending the ball back to the other side, right? This whole part is called field defending, right? Okay, right? So is it clear about the skills of volleyball now? Is it clear?
Yes,
Hmm?
sir.
Okay, don't forget those things, right? We have no time to discuss those things again. No problem, right? We can discuss it again if you want. Right. Okay. So in this lesson about volleyball, we are going to discuss about this spiking and blocking. Right? About these two skills we are going to discuss further in this lesson. Spiking and blocking, and about the job of the referees. We are going to discuss. Right. Okay. First, I will share the screen for you to write these skills. Set of skills. We'll write it down. We'll write these skills down, Lamai, the list of skills. මෙන්න මේ ටික අපිට අක්කා ලියගමු ළමයි. Okay, are you done, ළමයි? ඉවරද? Are you done writing these skills? Done, right? Okay. Sitting, spiking, blocking, right? Okay, you should remember those. Right. Now, we'll discuss about spiking, right? Spiking, right? We are going to see about spiking, right? So I will show this again. So clear enough. Right. So now spiking. So spiking means, simply we can say spiking means spiking as sending the ball over the net to the opposite side, right? Sending the ball over the net to the opposite side. So simply we can define spiking as that, as such, right? Or maybe they have to define simply sending the ball over the net to the other side over the net. But in the skills that we have learned previously, there were two other scenarios as well, two other skills as well, which we are doing the same thing, right? Which we did the same thing. What are those two? Now we are saying like spiking means sending the ball over the net to the other side. So we have done the same thing in two other skills as well. What are those two skills that we have done the same thing, sending the ball over the net to the other side?
Serving.
Serve. In serving, what we have done, what we did was we sent the ball over the net to the other side. The same thing. What is the other one? What is the other one? Other skill that we sent the ball to the other side over the net.
Spiking.
No, spiking is this, no, right? Other than spiking, there were two other. One is now serving. There was another one.
Blocking.
In blocking, right? When blocking the spike from the other side also, what the player is doing is, he's sending the ball over the net to the other side again, right? So clearly remember, spiking means except for blocking and serving, except for blocking and serving, any shot that we play to send the ball over the net to the other side or to the opposite side is what we call a spike. So we should add when defining spike, except for the except can එක හැර except for spiking, except for serving and blocking, any activity that we do to send the ball over the net to the other side, opponent side, is what we call is called a spike. We can define a spike as that. හරි ඔන්න ඔය විදිහට අපිට spike කියන එක define කරගන්න පුළුවන්. Except for blocking and serving, all actions, any other action that action used to send the ball to the opposite side over the net can be considered as a spike. ඒක spike එකක් විදිහට අපිට consider කරන්න පුළුවන්. Right? And now in volleyball, not only in volleyball, for other games also this is common. In volleyball, like if it is a spike, now this player is doing something, we'll say we don't know whether it is a spike or a block or something. We don't know. He's doing something. So we are the referees. We'll think that we are the referee of this game, right? Now he is doing something. So if he has done a spike, different rules and regulations will be applied for that. If he has done a serve, different rules and regulations for that. So if it is a block, what he has done, different rules will be applied there, right? So according to the shot we have played, different rules and regulations will be applied. So as a referee, it is very important to understand, right? As a referee, it is very important to understand the exact shot that the player has played. Player කෙනෙක් shot එකක් play කරපුවාම මේක හරියටම spike, the block, or whatever it is, මොකද්ද කියන එක අපි අඳුර ගන්න එක ඉතාම වැදගත්, right? හරියටම මොකද්ද මේක කියන එක අපි අඳුර ගන්න එක ඉතාම වැදගත්, right? මොකද spike එකක් නෙමෙයි නම් rules will be different which will be applied to them, right? එතකොට apply වෙන rules වෙනස් වෙනවා. එතකොට අපි ඒක අඳුර ගන්න එක ඉතාම වැදගත් වෙනවා. So it is not enough to have this action of the player, right? It's not enough to have the action of the player, only the action of the player. හරි? මේ player කරන එක විතරක් තිබ්බට මදි මේක spike එකක් වෙන්න නම්. There are two conditions that should be like satisfied, right? There are two conditions that should be satisfied. At least one should be satisfied out of those two. ඒ දෙකෙන් එකක් හරි satisfy වෙනවා නම් then we can say it's a serve, right? A spike will be completed. A spike will be completed only when one of those conditions will be satisfied. It gets satisfied. හරි ඒ දෙකෙන් එකක් හරි වුණොත් තමයි මේක spike එකක් විදිහට අපි ගණන් ගන්න. The first one, if the ball crosses the vertical plane of the net, vertical plane of the net means this. This is the vertical plane of the net. හරි අපි ඔකට කියන්නේ මේ net එකේ අපි කියන සිරස්තලය, right? If the ball crosses the vertical plane of the net, then we can consider it as a spike. Hurry. Or else, now we'll say like the ball is being spiked from this side, and an opponent player will be blocking it. Opponent player will be blocking it, we'll say, right? If the ball touches the blocker from the opponent side, that is also another condition that can be taken into consideration, right? So either the ball should cross the vertical plane of the net, or the ball should touch the blocker from the opponent side, right? If one of those two will get satisfied, then we will be able to consider that as a spike. ඒ දෙකෙන් එකක් හරි වුණොත් එක්ක මේ vertical plane එක pass කරන්න ඕනේ පන්දුව නැත්නම් the ball should touch the blocker. ඒ දෙකෙන් එකක් හරි වුණොත් we can say a spike has been completed. අන්න ස්පයික් එකක් කම්ප්ලීට් වෙනවා කියලා අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන්. Right? Okay. So is it clear now? Those are the basic things, not the rules, and we haven't discussed the rules and regulation regarding the spike. Some basic things that I have explained. Is it clear, the points that I have explained now? පැහැදිලිද ළමයි? ඒක තේරුණාද? Right?
Yes.
Okay. We'll write the points for that, and when writing the points also see whether you can understand those points very clearly. හරි ලියනකොටත් බලන්න මේ points හැම එකම දැන් තේරෙනවද කියලා. අනිත් එක තමයි there are few phases, right? There are lots of rules and regulations which should be applicable to a spike. We are going to discuss those later. And in the meanwhile, there are 4 phases of the posture or the activity of spiking. A spike එකක් කරන activity එකේ ඒ posture එකේ phases කීපයක් තියෙනවා. Hitting approach, take off, hitting the ball, and landing likewise, right? Approaching the ball, jump up, which means take off, hitting the ball, and landing. Those are the main 4 phases of a spike, right? So we are going to discuss about those 4 like the phases as well. We are going to discuss a little further, right? තවදුරටත් ඒ ගැනත් අපි ඉස්සරහට කතා කරනවා. For now, we'll start writing this part. මෙන්න මේ ටික අපි ලියාගෙන ඉමු. Spiking. These are the like main usual points, not the rules and regulations. Okay, we'll start writing this part, and the stages of spiking as well. We'll write it down, right? We'll discuss it after. Okay, පස්සේ අපි කතා කරමු දැනට ලියා ගන්න stages ටිකත්. Just shoot if you have any questions. In the third point, like catching and throwing the ball is not allowed, right? Which means like not only in spiking, right? But any point in this game, it is not allowed. We cannot catch or throw the ball. We can hit the ball. Right? And how the marks are being obtained in volleyball. In basketball, netball, we have to shoot the ball into that ring of the goal post. In football, we have to put the ball through that goal post uh, to obtain points. So how do we get marks from volleyball? Right? Are you done with the note? Anyone? Does anyone need more time to write? Huh? Anyone need more time? මේටික තව ලියනවද කවුරු හරි? නෑනේ. ලියලා නැත්තම් කියන්නේ ඈ. හරි. Okay. Right. So how do we get the points, right? So in order to get points, right, the opponent team has to do a mistake, right? Then cricket we have to run in between wickets, so we have to hit a 6 or 4, right, in order to get points. But in here, the other team has to make a mistake in order for us to get a point, right? What do you mean like? When we send the ball to the other side, if they drop the ball, if they send the ball out of the court, or if they hit the ball to the net and get dropped, right? So if they do any mistake, then only we can get a point, right? Then only we can get a point. I can running team එකේ mistake එකකින් තමයි එක්ක බෝල එළියට යනවා නැත්නම් බෝලේ වට ගන්නවා. They are exceeding that 3 chances they have. 7 තුනක් වෙනකොට 4 පාරක් ගන්නවා. ඒ වගේ if they have done some mistake, if they break any rule, then only we can have a point. And remember, with each point given in volleyball, right, when the ball goes out or ball gets dropped, the game stops temporarily, so we have to start it again. So we have to use serve to start the game again after each point. So with each point in volleyball, the chance to serve next will be awarded to the same team. හරි දැන් අපිට ලකුණක් එනවා නම් definitely we will be getting the chance to serve next as well. ඊළඟට serve කරන්න තියෙන chance එකත් අපිට එක්ක අනිවාර්යෙන් එනවා. If they are getting the point, with the point again, the chance to serve next will be awarded for the same team. හරි ඒක තනියෙන් යන්නේ. ලකුණක් යනවා නම් අරකට යනවාම මේ serve කරන chance එකත් ඒත් එක්කම යනවා. Right? Okay. So those are the basic things like with the time we have been remaining. I don't think we have to discuss the phases, right? The phases of the stages of spike we have to discuss, but I don't think we will have enough time to complete that part, right? So we'll discuss from that point onward. We'll discuss from next week, right? So that will be enough for the day, and we have discussed some basic things about volleyball and spiking of volleyball. We have identified the skills. Likewise, we discuss something. So is it clear the things that we have discussed so far, Lamai, in the lesson? Is it clear, especially the new students? Can you understand the things I'm explaining and we are discussing? Is it clear? පැහැදිලිද හැමෝටම? තේරුණාද? සබ්දමදි පොට්ට. සබ්දමදි කියන්නේ අර්ථ කරන්නේ නෙමෙයි. කතා කරන්න ඕනේ. Otherwise, how will I know that you understood or not? Right? Is it clear, Lamai? Did you understand everything that we have discussed so far?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Questions?
Yes, sir.
Any questions to ask? We have. Another ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවද අහන්න? One. Okay, then that will be enough for the day, right? So we'll meet next week with the rest of the lesson. There's a lot to go in this lesson. So we'll meet next week with the rest of the lesson. Okay, then have a good night and we'll meet next week. Lamai. See you everyone. Good night. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.
Good night, everyone. See you next week. Bye. Okay. Bye.